But still, like, I'm not gonna get that out of my mind. The fact that you set your phone to a ringtone to torture me. You are terrible. Why did you do that?
Okay, so it's just for notifications,
Like all notifications.
like Facebook.
So every time I'm around you, I'm gonna have to hear that. Is that new? Did you just do that?
I did that like the week before last, or maybe it was last week. But last time you saw me, I think my phone was on silent.
Damn you.
But let me tell you something. When it goes off when I'm walking through the store, I see people that get triggered.
If you don't, can you play it?
Yeah.
Let's trigger everybody listening.
And it's just the one.
And we're not gonna tell you what it's about or anything. We're just gonna see.
Yeah.
When you know, you know.
And it's not. It's just that one note. Oh, it's on silent. Okay. Sorry.
Gosh. It's such a oh, I love this song.
And you're just like,
I'm waiting for that was I feel like that was whoever liked that kind of music, that was everyone's favorite song at some point.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was my favorite song in like 8th grade.
I said, you know when I did it? I did it when I did that story.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was feeling nostalgic.
Yeah, you were sending me tons of snaps of listening to fantastic music.
So, yeah, if you know, you know. If you
understandable.
don't, that means that you are
listening to the wrong kind oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And listening to the wrong kind of music.
This is our paranormal and true crime podcast. That is Brie.
That's Amy.
Brie has a lot of very interesting things to tell me.
I do. First off, my mom sent these.
Aww.
Just to have in here.
To drink coffee with
the They're like poems, and to make monsters out of girls. They're just cute little props to put in the studio. We can read them. Yeah, they're poems.
Them? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, this is the one I opened to. Your best friend, your fear, they can be one and the same. Oh. Ooh. Okay, we'll just put those down for a second.
It's a little accurate. A little too accurate today.
Too accurate. So Brie has a lot of things to tell us. And if you listen to our last episode, which was what was it called? It's a ghost thing. Yeah. A ghost thing, or it's a ghost thing. Brie asked everyone a question. And if you want, you can go into our Facebook group and tell us what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, we actually, but added to that, I did message someone who has some experience with like cleaning house, I guess.
Yeah.
Cleaning paranormal house, but and she did suggest that it would be a good idea to start saging. So I meant to tell you I need to go I'm gonna go get some sage.
Like real stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, we're gonna do that.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Maybe my dad suggested your doorways as well.
Oh.
Just in case.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, and make sure you do this, and make sure it has this. And I'm like, why do you know so much about this? So, thanks, Dad.
He does it, like, all the time, probably.
All the time. He just, like, he smokes it.
Yeah.
He smokes sage. My dad is so in tune with the paranormal that he just smokes it.
He's just like, well, I'll just walk around the house.
I'll take a hit.
I do have...
No possession here, ghost. Sorry.
I thought I had a question for you, but I don't remember anymore, so ignore me. Oh, I was going to say, Brie is not here. It's actually Marge.
Margie. I've been sick all week. I went to Anchorage over the past week as a little family getaway. That's, the only place that we can go in Alaska that's kind of affordable.
Yeah.
Well, we went there, the water park and stuff, so we went there, and I was sick the whole time. But, I think a lot of it, because, like, it happened, like, the night before that we left, and I think it really amped up whenever we drove through all that smoke.
Yeah.
It got so bad. Like, my voice was just gone through the mountains, and I had to wear a mask. It's strong out today.
It is. What? Did you finish my room? Did you really?
I can go check it.
I'm paying her to clean my room because I don't want to. Half of it's her stuff.
Oh, I'm to bring money for her. God
damn it, Quiet. It is bad out today.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. Josh went on a bike ride.
Why?
He hasn't been on a bike ride in like over a year, and he's like, I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna go on a bike ride. I'm like, it's really smoky outside. He's like, it looks smoky, but it's not. I'm like, open a window, dude. I have them all closed.
Yeah, what
for
the
a reason.
heck?
It's smoky. You can smell it. And he's like, I'll be fine. I'm like, okay, well, don't complain to me later when you're hacking. Don't complain to Maj.
I'm just dumbfounded that he was like, I haven't rode a bike in years. But
so I'm
today
going to go outside and ride
it.
a bike when it's super unhealthy to do that.
Oh, like, Rick even closed the windows, and he's the one that, like, says, oh, it's the air's fine. And I'm like, no, it's not.
No, it's bad. If you can smell it, then it's bad. It smells like it's right next door.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's bad. So.
But yeah, we went to Anchorage for the weekend. It was like 3 days, and it was fun. We had a good time. Yeah. And we stayed in Airbnb, and it was fun. So little thing about the Airbnb, right when maybe like a couple hours after being there, I noticed like this dark circle on the floor, and it may not be anything. It may have been like from an old leak or something, but I don't know.
It has lots of explanations. Like
Yeah,
it could be.
Exactly. And it was like, it was a wooden floor, and it was like distressed wood, and it was like a circle, maybe like 2.5 to 3 feet by 2.5 by 3 feet or whatever.
Child.
Yeah, child size. But I was weirded out by it the entire time. And so that night, Charlotte kept on saying that she couldn't sleep and she was scared. And we were like, all right, it's a new house. It's fine. No big deal. So the second night, I fell asleep, and Josh, I wake up because I hear Charlotte crying. And like uncontrollably frantically crying.
Right.
And so I come out, and Josh is with her in the bathroom, and he's like, what happened? And I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, I don't know. I can't get her to tell me. And I'm like, Charlotte, did you have a bad dream? She's like, no. And she's just sitting there still crying and upset about it. And I'm like, Charlotte, tell us what's wrong. Like, calm down. And so I didn't want to lead her into anything to get her to say something. And she's like, I woke up and I couldn't move, and she said someone was in my room, and I'm pretty sure she said someone touched her. But it was really late, and I could be coming up with that in my head. But I'm like 1,000% sure that she said it. So
just someone being in the room is not. No.
But, however, Josh did go in there maybe like 10 to 15 minutes prior to this to close the window, and he was like, "Did you see me?" And she's like, "No." So that happened that night, and we were all shook up from it and freaked out.
Oh, heck yeah.
And that night, Josh ended up having a bad nightmare. I can't remember what he told me it was about. Maybe an accident or something. I don't know. But he woke up. I woke up because I heard him like breathing really fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, Josh. And he woke up screaming.
Oh, my gosh.
Scared the crap out of me. And he told me he had a bad dream. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Still freaked out. So a little while longer, I go to sleep, and I either dreamt or I had sleep paralysis because it was in that house whenever it was happening. And I just woke up, and I sat, like I laid there, and I said, I can't move. I can't move. I can't move. And I can't tell you if it was a dream or if it was real.
Did you have a hard time breathing?
Yeah. Everything.
I bet it was real.
I don't know. And then the next night.
Quick.
I didn't tell you about the next night. I know,
but real quick, when that was happening, were you saying I can't move, or were you trying to get the words out and they wouldn't come out?
I think I was saying it, so I guess I could breathe. I think I was saying it. I feel like Josh should have heard me if I was saying it.
That's true.
But he didn't hear anything I say. That's just what I was coming here complaining about.
Oh, that's so freaky. Even if you had a dream about it, that's still creepy.
Yeah. I mean, and it could just be like everything was kind of stirred up in the night.
Right.
So, but the next night is really what happened.
Oh my Lord! This is a paranormal story in itself. Like you don't even need to share your story.
I was so shaken up. We were all so shaken up, and Josh didn't want to admit it until we left. Until he was shaken up.
Sure.
But the next night, we're like, okay, we're gonna try to get to bed early because we're gonna leave as early in the morning as we can. We didn't get any sleep. So much for that. So we were laying in bed, and Josh was probably just about ready to pass out. I was too, but we were still kind of aware of everything.
Right.
And we hear creaking in the floor outside the room. It sounds just like pitter patter, like someone's walking around out there.
Like Natalie was out there or something.
Or Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Charlotte gets up to go to the bathroom all the time. And so I'm like, oh, Charlotte must have got up. And then I see someone go by the door. And Josh saw it too. And so I was like, oh, Charlotte must be getting up to go to the bathroom. And so I start saying, Charlotte, Charlotte. And I didn't hear any response. So I'm like, son of a freaking bitch.
Oh, my God.
It's like, I'm going to look at the monitor. And I'm not going to like what I'm going to see, but I'm going to look at it. Because we brought the monitor with us.
You did not.
I checked the monitor all freaking night, by the way. Big mistake. I'm sure. I should not have brought the monitor. It scared the crap out of me. But I checked the monitor, and Charlotte's there sleeping. And I'm like, Josh, you saw that, right? And he's like, yeah. Because he's not going to get convinced by the first thing ever. But, like, he saw it and heard something. There were people above us, but I don't know how them walking around up there, first of all, at like 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
And I don't know how it could mimic the sound of like
someone
stepping on the floor. Yeah.
You would hear it above you, not like
exactly
on the same level as you.
It was on the floor.
And something going by your door.
Yes, we saw something. And he was trying to like play it out in his mind. Like maybe I saw a reflection of something. I'm like, that was not a reflection of something, but you know, and we hadn't seen any like car lights or anything go by like at all. So I don't know. It was freaky.
So did you see anything else on the monitor besides?
No, but I could see the outline of that dang because of where I had the monitor. I could see the outline of that dang circle.
Oh,
and I just kept on like
much.
drawing my eyes to it, and I'm like, that freaks me out so much. But I just. Yeah.
I want to throw up. I am so sorry that you had to deal with that.
I told the owner.
Yeah, you told me that.
And he was kind of fascinated, but he said that nothing had ever happened that he knows of, but they haven't been there for that long. And I looked up the house. All I could find, without having to pay for it.
Right.
It was like built in the 80s, so it has been through multiple owners. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like that. Yeah. So we won't be
fun
staying
little
there.
Story, at least.
We won't be staying
there.
Oh,
I totally will.
Well, yeah, because
he gave me a free night. I'll stay there.
Hey, we could go there for our girls' night.
Yeah. Stay there for free night. You have to book at least 2 nights, though.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, my gosh, Brie. I don't. Oh, my. Did you tell your dad?
Mm-hmm.
What did he say?
Wait, did I tell my dad? Yeah, I did. He thought it was cool.
Of course he did.
He believed it. He thinks it was paranormal. But, I mean, it may not have been. But, again, I like to believe that it was something paranormal.
I like to believe that the owner actually was staying there in the attic the whole time.
There was no attic.
In the basement.
Yeah, there you go. I don't even know if it was a duplex. I don't know.
In the closet.
If they probably did have a basement, it's probably just set up like the way our house is set up with the tenant and stuff.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Story? You're welcome.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I want to tell my story first, selfishly, even though I just talked so much.
That's okay.
And I'm also scared that I'm going to start coughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Note to self. This is from next door. Note to self. Your neighbors are not amused when you dress in a Renaissance outfit and push your wheelbarrow down the street yelling, "Bring out your dead," at 7 p.m.
Bring out your what?
Bring out your dead. Okay, but also I would love to see that.
It would be on TikTok.
It absolutely would be.
Definitely be on TikTok.
With a little bell.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
The king is coming.
That would have been good. This is morbid, but that would have been good for the beginning of COVID.
The end is near. Oh, God, sorry.
I'm allowed to say that because my husband almost died from COVID.
Yeah, it's good, people. We're good. It's fine. We know. Also, I don't have COVID for those who are worried. Yeah. I got tested.
Oh, my God. I have to tell you a story about that.
Yeah? Right now?
Yeah, I'll take this out. Did I tell you about Mary, little Alice's mom?
Yeah. Wait, what about her? No.
She called me on Friday, I think it was, and asked, she's like, what are the rules for COVID? And I was like, well, I mean, what do you mean? Like, she said, well, I was sick last week and I lost my taste and smell, and I took a test today and it came back positive. Alice was with us.
You lost your taste and smell last week and you were sick.
Yeah. And you continued to bring your kid to daycare.
That's so annoying.
And didn't even bother to tell me that she was sick.
It's not annoying. That's inconsiderate.
Yeah, super inconsiderate. And she was like, well, little Alice's grandparents are saying that she has to quarantine. I was like, well, yeah, is she vaccinated? No, you have to quarantine. And she's like, well, does Drew, her fiance? And I said, well, is he vaccinated? Yes. Okay. If he's vaccinated and doesn't have symptoms, the rules are that he doesn't have to quarantine. And she threw the biggest fit, not understanding why Alice has to quarantine, but she doesn't have symptoms, but her boyfriend doesn't. And I was like, because he's vaccinated. I said, you tested positive. That's it. Like, she's near you. She's with you every single day. She could still have it and not show symptoms. She could be asymptomatic. Yeah. She was throwing a fit with me that she couldn't bring her kid to daycare. I'm like, does
she know your situation?
Yes.
How
she is
selfish.
Well aware of it. Yeah, I was like, well, sucks for you. And like, I was like, I gotta go. Like, look it up on the CDC rules. That's that's what I follow.
You're not gonna risk your your family.
Yeah.
And two, like, you have to be considerate of other people's children. People.
Yeah. Like, I was. Oh my gosh, I was so mad.
How selfish.
Yeah.
That's so crappy.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, sorry about it. Like, if you were that concerned about it, you should have maybe gotten your kid vaccinated, or I don't know, told me and kept your kid home that week.
Exactly. Yep. I would never know.
Yeah.
And especially knowing like,
yes.
Those are the two, like, that was, I wasn't worried about COVID the entire time that I was sick, because I was like, I can still taste and smell, and I know those are, like, two really, really big, distinct symptoms.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And you were like, we can do, separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, no, we're fine, sort of thing. Because Rick was asking me, he's like, well, is she still sick? I was like, I think it's mostly just her voice now. So I don't think you're, like, you don't have the sick symptoms. No. You're just dealing with aftermath.
Yep.
Anyways, so, yeah.
That's annoying.
I meant to tell you that over the phone.
That's so annoying.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me your story, buddy. Please.
Do you want to hear yet another spooky story?
I do. Oh, can I guess what it is?
Yeah.
It is... Oh! I want you to do... There's a
where's the book out, actually?
Bermuda
Triangle?
Yeah. But it's not...
Hello?
It's like that, but it's not. It's somewhere else.
Is it in the Alaska Triangle?
No.
This may actually be in here. I think it is, actually.
Are you doing a story about a haunted pineapple?
God, you're good.
I know. I knew it.
Are these arranged by
state alphabetical order?
Okay. Is that they are?
Yeah.
Oh, it is in here. All right. Well, I'm doing one from the book, and I didn't even realize it.
One from the book.
So I've wanted to do this one for a very long time. I'll give you some hints. It's in Colorado. And...
Oh. Go ahead.
And Stephen King stayed there.
Coyote Ugly bar.
Is that in Colorado?
Yeah. Denver.
From the movie it is?
Yeah.
Because there's also Coyote Uglies everywhere else.
Well, the original is in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
I know, me too.
Random.
So that's not it?
No, it is the Stanley Hotel.
Oh,
It's the movie The Shining.
Yeah. I've never seen that movie.
Oh my God. Are you so serious right now? I've read the book. And the book is so much. Of course it is. Stephen King hated when they did the movie. He made like a whole like another series of it because he was so mad about the movie. But oh my God, it's such a good. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so you good, dude?
Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, I put in here a note because in the Ouija board episode, I said someone's name. I said Pern instead of Pearl because my computer typed out Pern, and I was listening to it, and I'm like, why did I say Pern? And I looked at my notes, and I'm like, damn, autocorrect.
Purred happily.
Pern. What the heck is a Pern? Pearn.
Pern.
Pern. So Pearl is what I meant.
Okay. Correction corner.
Correction corner. We do it never. Now we're gonna start.
The first time, and I probably will never do it after this because I don't care.
Okay, so I do have a segment in here for us to start. Anyway, we're gonna get to that later.
Thank you.
So in 1974, Stephen King was on a roll after releasing the hit novel Carrie, which is also a fantastic movie.
Is that one of your favorite ones?
Yes, it's great. And he had just turned in the book Salem's Lot, which was also a hit. Both of those stories were set in Maine, so he wanted to change the scenery, so he moved his family to Boulder, Colorado to work on his next piece. He was playing with an idea of a psychic boy in like an abandoned amusement park, but he couldn't make it fit his storyline. So as winter was beginning to hit, Stephen and his wife, Tabitha, found themselves at the Stanley Hotel. The last night they were open. Let me rephrase this, because that makes zero sense. I don't know why. I don't know why I wrote that.
You're also probably drugged up on medicine.
It was the last night of them being open for the season because they closed during the winter time that time.
Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't have any heat. So he was there, him and his wife were there, and they were actually the only guests that were there because the whole place was just deserted. Everybody was getting ready, packing up. But they were like, hey, Stephen King, let's let him stay here.
Absolutely. We'll stay open for
We'll give him the
week.
Presidential Suite.
Yeah.
Room 217.
Oh.
So as he wandered the halls after his wife had gone to bed, he began to get hit with all these ideas. He dreamt of his 3-year-old son running through the halls screaming and being chased by a fire hose.
No, I don't like that.
And he woke up covered in sweat all over and almost falling off the bed. And so he got up and he lit a cigarette, sat in the chair, and started looking out in the Rockies. And by the time his cigarette was done, he had the whole book in his head and was like, I know what I'm going to do.
Oh my gosh.
I thought of The Shining. So it was published in 1977, becoming another big success in his career.
Did you see the lights?
Yep, sure did. It's fun times. I'm going to remove this a bit. Okay. So we're going to talk about the Stanley Hotel. History. Okay. In 1903, Freeland Oscar Stanley, or F.O. Stanley, the inventor of the Stanley steamer, like the vehicles.
Stanley steamers.
Not the carpet cleaner.
Oh.
I don't think it's the same thing. I meant to look up to see if they tie together, but no, this is like the original like vehicles that were actually powered by steam.
Gotcha.
He was diagnosed with a severe case of tuberculosis, and during this time, the recommended treatment was fresh, dry air with sunlight and a hearty diet.
Okay.
So Mr. Stanley and his wife, Flora, ventured to the Rocky Mountains in Denver, Colorado in March. Then in June, moved to Estes Park, Colorado for the remainder of the summer. His health improved so much that he had decided to return every year. And by 1907, he made a full recovery and decided to turn Estes Park into like a resort town.
Oh, okay.
And there was nothing there. So he was going to bring like everybody here.
Wow.
He did a lot of good for the town.
That's cool.
He purchased land from a lord. I hate that I had to include this, but I had to because it's relevant.
Right.
So he purchased land from a Lord Dunraven, who was not very popular in the area due to his like sly business manner, and I guess he had like illegally obtained all this land, and he was attempting to, like he
was
just
shady.
like, yeah, he was very shady. He was attempting to create like a private hunting lodge or preserve, making him the largest foreign holder, land foreign holder or whatever in America. Is she sleeping?
No.
Okay. So after Stanley acquired this land in 1907, he began construction on the Hotel Stanley, as well as a hydroelectric plant up on the mountain so that it could be powered. So the hotel had its own like power plant.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's like Disneyland.
Yeah.
Disney World.
This is actually called the Disneyland of paranormal stuff.
Oh. What'd you know?
What'd you know? The hotel was completed in 1909, costing around $500,000. Now, give me a second, $15,885,652 dollars.
That's a lot of money.
And like 51 cents. So
the
yeah,
money don't jiggle.
it
folds.
It folds. What is it? It was built in a Georgian architectural style. Along with the hotel was a private lodge that Mr. Stanley had built for him and his wife called the Stanley Manor.
Okay.
And there was also a carriage house which housed the Stanley steamer carriages. And each room had running water, electricity, and telephones.
Wow.
Which was not something that town had.
Did they flick the lights back on?
I know. Whenever I started doing this story, it started making me think of last week's story. And I was like, I really want to do it, though. So kind of similar. It's in the same time period.
That's okay.
To add more of a personal touch to it, he had a fleet of steam cars called mountain wagons that transported hotel guests from the town below to the hotel because they had to climb a mountain.
So they really went like this was luxury.
Yes, this was upper class. Yeah. He built this hotel in mind for like his friends to come and visit him from the East Coast.
Oh, I wish
leave the city life and come see the country.
I wish I had that much money for my friends. My one friend.
Yeah, what a great friend. I did read something else about how, I don't know if it was true because I didn't see it anywhere else, but I do want to say that I said that it was like the Disneyland of paranormal. And someone had said that he used to make people dress up as bears on people's way to, like, whenever they were on their way to the hotel. And someone pretend to shoot them and just like stage stuff. Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not, but I saw it somewhere and I felt that is worth mentioning.
That's really cute.
Yeah. And I was like, how creative.
He's the Walt Disney of paranormal.
Yeah. Super cute. Underneath the hotel was a like cave tunnel system that they had used to for the employees to like get around and transport things, especially in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Stanley, I already said it was for his friends. So many of the rich and famous did come here. People like Molly Brown, John Philip Sosa, Theodore Roosevelt. Wow. That dude got around everywhere.
Yeah.
He's in like every paranormal story.
Every like large hotel that you talk about, he's there. Like,
he's there.
What did he do? Did he even like...
Well, he did. I mean, he was president. But
yeah, but like, did he even like president?
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff. He did like parks and like national parks.
You're right. He was all about national parks and preserving monuments and stuff like that. So.
But yeah, he was like chilling out in hotels.
Yeah,
he's just partying.
Maybe he's the ultimate ghost.
I want to hang out. I would love to meet Theodore Roosevelt. Also, because Robin Williams played Theodore Roosevelt.
I was just going to say.
That's all I think about with Theodore Roosevelt as an adult because of Night at the Museum. It's like you're gonna meet Robin Williams.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Also, the Emperor and Empress of Japan and several other honorable mentions of Hollywood, like Stephen freaking King and Jim Carrey.
Oh, Jim Carrey's just like randomly in there.
Yeah, we'll talk about him later.
It's weird that Jim Carrey is also like in the same Is the hotel still like around?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's weird that
Full
he's
business.
like in
Yeah,
that
you'll find out why.
Teddy Roosevelt and then like Jim Carrey.
Oh, and Jim Carrey. It's just like, okay, that went different direction. In 1926, Freeland Stanley stole the hotel. It kind of bounced between himself and several other owners trying to keep up with it. He eventually passed in 1940, and by the 70s, the hotel was falling apart due to poor care and investment. That is until 1974 when Mr. King and his wife stayed at the hotel. After the best-selling book was released, the hotel was quite popular again, since then, it had been completely restored and renovated and brought back to its former glory even more.
Wow.
Still tending to many guests today. You need to look up this hotel. I want to stay there so bad. It is beautiful. And the grounds of it are huge. Like, it's got, like, 2 restaurants, a private lodge. It's got the actual hotel and another building. It's just beautiful.
The Stanley Hotel.
You can get married there. You can do anything you want.
Oh,
anything you want. And there's deer there that roam free, too, or elk, which is cool.
That is very cool.
They're free. So let's talk about some death and dramatic events.
Absolutely.
Okay, so just 2 years after opening in 1911, the valley experienced a flood that caused a power outage throughout the hotel. So Mr. Stanley took it upon himself to install gas lanterns into each room, providing light for the guests.
Okay.
So a leak started to build up in one of the rooms, and at that time they didn't have the smell put into gas because it's odorless. Because you know they put the smell there, right?
Yeah, obviously, I obviously knew that.
It's a joke in the show Friends. He was like, he was trying to hit on a girl, and he's like, propane. You know, the gas smell wasn't always there. They put that in there. They're like, you're trying to flirt with her about gas.
That's so cringy.
So a leak caused a buildup in one of the rooms, in room 217. And the head chambermaid, Elizabeth Wilson, went into the room with a lit candle and set off a huge explosion.
What? Oh, because okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. By some miracle, she survived. She was thrown from the room to stop it. Because it's just a smoke outside.
What is her name again?
Elizabeth Wilson.
No, the one behind you.
Don't say that. Be nice.
I'm asking.
Thank you very much.
I was just curious if you could please stop doing that.
Yeah, you stop.
Wow, this is beautiful.
Okay.
How do they keep it so white?
Isn't it beautiful? It's so pretty. Gosh, it's so pretty.
It's like with the mountains.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like a resort.
Yeah.
Okay, so Elizabeth Wilson went into the room, lit a candle, and set off a huge explosion.
Wow.
Yada, yada, yada. By some miracle, she did survive. She was thrown from the room to the dining hall that was on the first floor. So she was on the second floor and got thrown to the first floor. She came out of it with 2 broken ankles, and that's it. He paid the bill for their hospital and everything like that, and made sure she was okay, and it was fine. She actually came back to work, and she was like head maid. So, and she worked there until she died.
Wow.
Yeah. It destroyed 10% of the hotel, which was about 70,000 square feet.
So it was like
an entire wing of it got messed up.
Wow.
So she died in the 1950s. Didn't die on the premises or anything, but she died in the 1950s. Okay. And I would like to add that after reading one of these articles, oh yeah. So I was really sick when I wrote these parts. So I want to add.
So it's like you're learning all over again.
I'm learning everything. After reading one of these articles, these maids were super awesome. They were badasses.
Right.
Apparently, there was another maid, Miss Colburn, who had been blown through the wall from this blast and onto the porch. After being blown out, she immediately got up, grabbed a fire extinguisher, and just started firefighting.
Heck yeah,
Just started putting out fires everywhere. And then a third maid, Mary Donaldson, who was also caught in the commotion of the explosion, was doing the same thing. He hired the right people.
That's awesome.
Good people, good workers.
Good employees.
Yeah.
I will say that people of that time Like,
oh, it's different ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work ethic is
Sad.
so different.
Sad. So Flora Stanley died in 1939 of a stroke. She wasn't on the premises, though, but it needs to be said. Also, Freeland Stanley died at 91, oddly, because they both lived really long. He died of heart failure, and he wasn't on the premises. A former employee passed of a heart attack in 2005. His name is Paul.
Paul.
A worker who was in the tunnels got caved in, and it trapped him in, and supposedly he was a chef.
Uh-huh.
A young this one isn't super, like, set in stone. There were a couple different stories about this one, but a young little girl named Lucy, people believe she was homeless. She had passed here. One story said that she was thrown out into the cold, and she froze to death. I don't know. She was, like, looking at some stuff and, like, in the basement. I don't know.
Who would have thrown her out?
I don't know. Apparently she was looking at blueprints. That was one of the stories that I read.
That's gonna fall. Sorry.
You're like, good job. That's the right answer.
Good girl.
Also, I mean, it's a hotel, so additionally, deaths are going to happen there that may not be mentioned.
Right.
So let's get on to the fun part. The paranormal part. On an interesting note, the hotel is on a mountain and grounds that have quartz and limestone, which are well-known conductors of energy and very commonly seen in, like, paranormal sites.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Limestone is a really big one. I didn't know quartz was, but I knew limestone was.
Huh.
But, like, running water, limestone, and quartz are all really big energy conductors, and they're very, like, if you're in one of those areas, then you're
Get
bound
out.
to, yeah. No.
Get out.
Get out. Also, the hotel has experienced so much activity that the hotel has their own psychic.
Whoa. Just like
cool.
on call.
Just on call. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple of the rooms and the floors. In room 217, this is like the most well-known room in hotel haunted history. So
Ooh.
This is the room that Stephen King stayed in.
Okay.
And where
Sorry. Never mind.
What?
I was going to ask, do you think did he ask to stay in that room, or?
It's the presidential suite.
Oh, okay.
So they probably put him in, like, the best room for a reason.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it was also haunted before this because the bartender told him some stories.
Okay.
So, and it's also where the gas explosion occurred from Miss Wilson.
Mm.
So, people have reported sounds of crying and seeing Miss Wilson here. And apparently she'll move your things, turn the lights on and off, and even fold your clothes and put them away.
Okay, I need to say there.
Right?
Can she come here?
I know. I just want to be in that room. Like, I'm so lazy.
I literally hate putting away my clothes.
The one chore I do not like is laundry.
I will put it off for weeks.
Mrs. Wilson, please. It's also suspected that Miss Wilson doesn't like when unmarried guests cuddle up close.
Oh,
Some couples have reported that a cold force comes between...
Oh!
Son of a biscuit. Oh, shit. I got some tea on your wood.
Oh, that's okay.
Do you want to clean it up right now?
No, we can wait.
What is this?
The wood?
Yeah, what is this piece
Flooring.
of wood? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's just a stack of flooring.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's not going to go bad.
Oh, I guess it's flooring. It's meant to have stuff. I'm sorry.
No, it's just a stack of flooring that I can't move because it's too heavy.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow, you're going to have fun editing this. Ah! Okay. So, some couples have reported a cold force come between them in the bed. Not sure how accurate this is, but another ghosty...
Ghosty?
Yes, because it's a kid ghost.
Uh-oh.
That made the cut is a young boy who has been seen outside the door, and evidently Mr. King saw him, and I guess he was looking for his nanny. So now another area, like if you want to stay here and you want to avoid the paranormal, just avoid the entire fourth floor. So
okay.
For a long time, the fourth floor was actually an attic for female employees, children, and nannies. Now it's for guests, and many guests on this floor have heard the sound of running children and laughing and playing and stuff.
What about male employees?
I know, right? Like,
do they go to the basement?
There was a, I think they said there was like an employee. What is it called? I don't know, like a area for the employees to stay, but I guess the girls had to stay there. Maybe it was like co-eds or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. Sorry.
So you're good. In room 401, you can expect a roomie there. Lord Dunraven, the guy who I didn't want to mention. He has never even stayed there, but he's been spotted here. It's common for guests' belongings to go missing and be found in the closet in this room. The closet also likes to open and shut on its own, even when the door is locked. And as for females who enter this room, especially in the closet, for whatever reason,
why are you going in the closet?
Have experienced being touched inappropriately and like breathing down their necks.
Ew.
So, gross.
I bet
Mr. Dunraven is kind of a pervy perv.
Yeah, I bet he's staying there because he's like, this is still my land.
This is my land. I'm a lord.
Mm-hmm.
Room 407, a boy who stayed in this room said that he kept kicking off his covers, and every time he did, he would get tucked back in. So other visitors have reported being tucked in at night or something sitting on the edge of the bed. And lastly, unexplained noises have been heard along with the lights turning on and off, and some have seen a face in the window when the room isn't even booked.
Nope. That one I don't like.
Room 412 has had some poltergeist activity. A woman staying in this room claimed her bed was shaking and levitating.
Ew, no.
In room 428, guests have reported the sound of footsteps and furniture moving above them, but there's nothing above them but the roof.
No.
And don't worry, in here you're not alone. A friendly cowboy often stays in here. He likes to sit in the corner or pace the floor. He is somewhat polite.
Somewhat?
He's polite. He's a nice guy. He's a gentleman.
He's a gentleman.
He's a gentleman. Some have asked him to leave. I'm sure everybody asked him to leave. And he would do so, like whenever you ask him. But before he leaves, a lot of times he'll kiss a woman on her head, and as a way of like saying goodnight.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. He's like, okay,
fix that.
Good night. No, good night to you, ma'am.
Good night to you, ma'am.
The Carriage House, which is now a restaurant called the Post Chicken and Beer.
I saw that.
They have gluten-free fried chicken, man. And Guy Fieri went there.
Did he?
I mean, he went to the Pagoda too, so it's not really.
I know. And the Hungry Robot.
Oh, okay. I never had there yet.
It's good.
Oh, it's good.
I mean, you might like it.
It's aight.
It's pizza for me.
Pizza. As of 2010, at some point, the hotel would store mattresses. And I only know this because I watched the Ghost Adventures episode.
Okay.
But at that point, they would store mattresses from guests who had passed away on them in the hotel.
Why are we storing those?
I know, like burn them. So they just like stored them. No one was allowed to go in the building. It was restricted. Staff who had been in there had been attacked and grabbed.
Oh
Objects had been moved and thrown. So it was just like a very like
toxic.
Yeah, not a great area. But now it's a restaurant, so go eat.
Yay!
It's like completely redone and everything now, so it's good.
And they staged it, so it's fine.
It's fine. In the concert hall, hearing someone yelling, "Get out," or nudge them late at night can be heard, which is believed to be the late employee Paul who had passed because he would enforce a 11 p.m. curfew for guests. So he's trying to get people to get out and go to bed.
Oh, go to bed.
Yep. Good night. Mr. Stanley still hangs out here. He is often seen in the lobby or billiard room. According to a prior bartender employee, Stanley has been seen strolling through the bar, then disappeared when they tried to catch him in the kitchen.
Oh.
He is also materialized on a ghost tour in the billiard room, appearing behind a member. Flora Stanley is often spotted in the concert hall, which was he had the concert hall built for her because she loved playing the piano.
Aww.
And she's seen playing the piano Guests have not only seen her apparition but heard her music and can also see the piano keys moving on their own.
Ooh, that's really cool. I actually like that.
Yeah,
and I want to hear the music.
Yeah, I'm sure she's good. Also, the scent of roses is a common thing to smell whenever you're around her.
Her name.
Oh, or maybe she wore rose scented perfume.
What was her name again?
Flora.
Why did I think it was Rose?
I don't know. That's a good name for that time.
Yeah.
In the concert hall and
Terrible
basement,
perfume.
terrible. Lucy has been seen in a hot pink dress, little homeless girl. People on tours have seen her apparition and even captured pictures, which apparently she doesn't like people taking pictures of her, and you feel just uneasy after doing so.
Oh.
So I guess it pisses her off.
Same.
In the tunnel, people have smelled baked goods and bread.
Oh,
which they believe is from the chef that got trapped in there.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. You can hear disembodied voices, EVPs, people have been touched, doors opening, closing, footsteps, a physical feeling of being sick, items gone missing, electronic failure. And lastly, while the movie The Shining was not actually filmed there, it was filmed in Oregon. Dumb and Dumber was filmed there in 1994.
Interesting.
And
the
Jim
winter
Carrey
one.
stayed in room 2017, but he fled in the middle of the night. He's like, nope.
No, thank you.
So since it is a hotel, did I do this in the last one? I don't remember, but I am gonna try to make sure I do a Yelp review, some kind of Yelp review, as long as I can find people's haunted experiences.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call this segment Yelp. I'm scared.
Yelp,
reviews.
I'm scared. That's cute.
All right, so this one, I can say their name because it's public knowledge, right? Okay, this one is from a Brian D. He gave it 4 stars. Probably because I'm part of it, he said it was a little pricey, but it's nice.
Yeah.
So, for ghost hunters out there, we stayed in room 407, reportedly haunted by an old staff member who tucks you in at night. While we weren't tucked in, we did capture some pretty wicked orbs that flew around, paused in midair, then flew off in different directions.
Oh, that's weird.
Difficult to pass off as dust. That said, the rooms are dusty, as I mentioned above, which could lead... Can I just take that part out?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Why did I include that part? Okay. Okay, so this one is from Diana J.
Are we taking out the whole?
Just the dusty part. I don't want to say anything bad about it.
Okay.
So this one is from Diana J. She gave 5 stars, and she says, definitely haunted. If you were into that sort of thing, we stayed in room 401, supposedly the most haunted room in the house. I did not sleep a wink. And at one point in the middle of the night, our bed shook for no apparent reason. Other than that, it was very comfortable bed and a beautiful room.
It just shook.
Yeah. So, it's fine.
The bed was comfortable, but it shook the whole time.
Vibrating mode was on the whole time.
I don't know how to turn this thing off.
A Donna M. This is the last one. This one's kind of long. So she said, we stayed in room 215. 217 is the room Stephen King stayed in when he got the idea to write the book The Shining when he got the idea to write the book The Shining. 217 used to be a suite back in the day, and 215 was part of 217. I did not know that.
Oh.
Which is haunted too. There is a ghost named Miss Wilson who was a caretaker for 87 years. She still haunts room 215 and 217. She folds clothes and tucks you into bed at night. Nice. Here's the story of our haunting. Okay. Here, I was laying in bed, almost asleep, when I heard Stacy. I don't want to say their names. When I heard Stacy and Rebecca saying that they were going to play a trick on me. I had my eyes closed, and I felt Rebecca standing over me.
Ew.
I could hear her breathing. When I opened my eyes, no one was there. Both Becky and Stacy were in bed. Come on, Becky and Stacy. I sat up and screamed and told them what happened. They were never talking or planning to play a trick.
Ew.
So we go back to sleep. 20 minutes later, I hear Stacy jump up and say, "What?" She heard me whisper, "Stacy," in her ear and felt me standing over her. I was in bed asleep. We go back to sleep, and 20 minutes later, I feel someone on top of me wrapping the sheets around my legs and body.
Oh.
I started screaming. By this time, I was like, okay, not liking this anymore. Went back to sleep and felt...
How can you go back to sleep after that?
Yeah, right? Felt it one more time. So, believe it or not, mind games or hysteria, I, for one, am a believer.
Wow.
Lastly, as of today, the hotel is a gorgeous destination getaway, whether you're looking for a little bit of R&R, beautiful wedding venues, or even something like a chilly encounter.
Right.
Seriously, look up this place. It is beautiful, guys. I can't even, I want to stay there so bad. It continues to be investigated by numerous paranormal groups, including Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters. Also, I did want to add that the gift shop offers really cool, spooky memorabilia.
Oh.
Like, you can get, keys with the haunted room numbers on it. They very much,
cool.
pride on the fact that they're haunted.
Yeah, they should.
They have things that say Red Rum on them. It's really cool.
That is cool.
But that is the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. Sorry.
Thank you for sharing that.
Taking forever and stumbling a lot.
No, that was good.
And getting back on my feet.
Yeah. That was good.
That was a fun place.
That sounds like a really fun place. I want to go there.
We can go there together, buddy. We passed. So, whenever we were coming to Alaska, I was on the second book of the second part of The Shining called Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
And I was listening to it on Audible on our trip. And I kept on telling Josh we were going through Colorado, and I was like, oh, there's the exit. We can totally just stay the night at Stanley Hotel. And he's like, no, we're not staying at a haunted hotel. It's like an hour out of our way. And I'm like, but I want to.
But I want to.
I want to. They were probably booked anyway.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to, have a destination wedding there.
Yeah.
And...
They're so pretty.
Yeah. I was looking at the pictures. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's so expensive.
Very. A lot of the bad reviews are mostly of that, but it's a very high quality, nice hotel.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's got a lot of history to it.
Yeah.
And there's events happening every night there too.
Yeah, I was looking at the events. It looked like they would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Halloween, I think they said they do a Shining ball. They do a ball every Halloween for The Shining.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's cool. I'm going to tell you a story about the High Five murders.
What? High Five?
Oh, I know. I knew you were going to say that. High Five.
Did you really know I was going to say that?
Yes, I did.
You look like, oh, honey. You just gave me an oh, honey look.
I'm sorry. I really thought you were going to be like, let's high five for it.
If I didn't have this in my hand, I probably would have said that.
So, no, Hi-Fi is a, I don't know if they're in business anymore, but it was an audio electronics store, kind of like Radio Shack.
It's not as fun as High Five, but it's okay.
I know.
It's fine. You guys should come out. Well, that's probably why you're not open anymore.
And I will say, I was not inspired by anything this week to it was hard for me to find a story that I clicked with. So, and I really wanted to do that. Yes. Oh, he must have just, it was the Bermuda Triangles, but it's called something else. And I spent way too much time looking into it.
Trying to find, yeah.
No, it was more for your stories. And it would be something more up your alley.
I don't care.
Well, it just is more paranormal-y. So
if you ever wanted to, I don't care.
Yeah, but so I spent way too much time researching into that. And so then last night I was working on this story, and I'm going to take all this out, but I was like, I'm going to just tell you the story, okay? I'm going to get it over with.
Good.
I was telling Rick, I was like, I hate when I'm not inspired by my stories. I feel bummed out.
I hate that.
Yeah. So
it's okay.
You're just not excited to share it.
We're just going to get this over with.
Yeah.
This is homework.
Yes. Yeah.
It's more work than
I was like, I'm excited to record, but I'm not excited to share my story.
There's so much YouTube on this and so many like videos, so I was super excited for it.
I gotta get re-inspired here. So I'm gonna tell you about the high five murders.
High five, not high five.
High five, not high fives. So on the evening of April 22nd, 1974, Sherry Ansley, she was 18 years old, and Stanley Walker, 20 years old, which, you know how I like to talk about their history, like how they grew up? Couldn't find anything. But that's okay.
It's all right.
It's all right.
We know their age. That's important.
Yep.
And their names.
And
Stanley.
Another Stanley. There's a theme here. They were working on closing up shop at the Hi-Fi home audio store in Ogden, Utah, where they worked. They were doing their usual duties, taking out trash, restocking.
Sorry.
Restocking, things like that. And 3 men came in. And I know what that's like. Like, you're closing up and people walk in and you're just like...
Really?
Really? There should be a rule. Like, no one's allowed in 30 minutes before you close.
Yeah. It's rude.
It is. But, so they came in and they thought they were, customers. They greeted them and stuff. But then they ended up the 3 men forced Sherry and Stanley into the basement and tied them up. And they were going to rob the place. So the men went back upstairs. They stole high-priced items and loaded them into the 2 vans that they had sitting in the parking lot. While they were loading up the items, Courtney Naisbitt, who was 16 years old, came in and was going to thank the employees for letting him park his car there in their parking lot while he went to neighboring stores to go shopping. I don't know if maybe those stores didn't have parking lot, but anyway, so he went in. He was going to thank them. The robbers saw him, and they're like, well, you're another victim. So they forced him downstairs to...
Wow, talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I actually wrote that.
That sucks.
I actually wrote, unfortunately, Courtney was a victim of being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That sucks.
Yeah, so he was forced down there to be with Stanley and Sherry. The men grabbed Courtney, tied him up with Stanley, like I said.
Wait, Courtney was a guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So after a few hours, Stanley's father, Orrin Walker, became worried about his son because he had not come home from his shift. So he decided to head out to the shop to see what was going on. And same with Courtney's mother, Carol Peterson. She was like, where's my kid? He was supposed to go shopping and come home, and he never did. So she went to look for him and found both the parents arrived at the store, and the robbers grabbed them and tied them up with the other victims. So the robbers later identified as Del Shelby Pierre.
How long were they there for?
I'm gonna guess a couple hours.
I guess it's like an electronics store. So they're probably stealing heavy things.
Yeah, and you don't want to be suspicious, so you're probably taking your time taking things out to the vans.
And in the 70s, everything's a lot bigger.
That's true.
The TV with a big ass box on the back.
That's very
true. It weighs 80 pounds.
You can't just carry it out with your own 2 hands.
Nope.
You got to put it on a loader and
does not fit in a box.
Yeah. So the robbers, later identified as Del Shelby Pierre, William Andrews, and Keith Leon Roberts, finished taking the items that they wanted and needed to turn their attention to these victims. They poured blue liquid into a paper cup and claiming that it was just simply vodka laced with sleeping pills to put the hostages to sleep so that the robbers could escape. I don't know why they couldn't just
yeah, if they're locked up in the basement, just go.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, but one by one, Pierre forced the hostages to sit up, and he forced the liquid into their mouths. And as soon as it hit their mouth, they realized that it wasn't vodka.
Oh man!
It was actually
Drano.
Yep, liquid drain cleaner.
I thought blue.
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh, they're dead.
Yeah, so the hostages caused the hostages' mouths and tongues and throat to blister and bleed, and eventually sent them into convulsions. So, that really upset the robbers because they're like, well, you were supposed to die, but you didn't.
Oh, they're upset?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I know.
Now their job's harder.
I know. So they had to shoot them. Pierre then shot Carol, Courtney, Stanley, and Orrin because they weren't dying fast enough. That killed Carol and Stanley, but Courtney and Orrin both survived the shots. Sherry, the 18-year-old, was then taken by one of the robbers, Pierre, to the corner of the basement, and he raped her.
Ew.
While the Drano was causing her mouth to foam and being like, it was bloody and blistering, she was like in complete pain all over.
You are a piece of trash.
Yeah. After the rape, Pierre shot Sherry in the back of the head, killing her. The men then, like after he was done, they realized that Orrin, the dad, was still alive, and so Pierre, this just like a lot of things don't bug me, but this, like the thought of it, just I can't. So sorry everyone. Pierre then inserted a ballpoint pen into Orrin's ear and stomped on it until it exited through his throat.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Why? You had a gun.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Ugh. In the ear.
In the ear. Yeah.
Just like a little orifices like that.
Yeah. Sorry. So they thought finally everyone was dead, so they left the store. The bodies of the victims were found a few hours later, and the bodies of the victims.
I was purposely staring at her for you to stare at her too. I was waiting for her.
Are you done?
Are we done now? Are we done here? All right, wait. I'm so sorry.
They're so good.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so the bodies of the victims were found a few hours later, and Orrin and Courtney actually survived. But they did have serious injuries. Oh yeah,
Doesn't mix with the cough drop.
No. So the bodies of the victims were found a few hours later, and Orrin and Courtney, one of the dad and one of the boy that came in with thanking them, actually survived, but they had serious injuries. The victims' personal belongings were found by two teenage boys who were dumpster diving nearby at a nearby Air Force base. When the police arrived at the dumpster to retrieve the evidence, several men who were watching the police stood out due to the frantic looks. Like, a lot of the men, like, looked kind of like this is too much.
Right.
So, based on this reaction and come on, Alice, open it.
I remember. I can't even get through this. Every time I tell this story, when I was a kid, my dad used to take us to like the Dollar Theater.
Uh-huh.
And so we brought like dollar candy from Dollar Tree, and
my parents did the same thing.
I mean, it's cheap fun, and we weren't supposed to bring in candy because we didn't buy it in the theater, and we were all like, "Oh, nobody can know you have candy in the theater because no one does that." And so I was trying to open up my own candy, and I had like Reese's Pieces. and I open them up and they explode. Oh, no. And it's in the like most silent part of the movie, like in between commercials, and all you hear is it's just being a parent now and having that stuff happen, you're just like, you can't get mad. You're just like, shake your head like a son of a.
Hurry up.
Anyway.
That's cute. Was your movie theater right next to your Dollar Tree?
Yeah.
Ours too. Yeah. They must have done that on purpose.
Yeah. Had to have.
Yeah.
Go buy your snacks here.
Yeah. So, where am I? So, based on the reaction and another airman who came forward claiming that Pierre Anderson Roberts. Sorry, I'm going to take that part out. So, in their storage unit, police found items linked to the hi-fi audio shop. So, they owned, like, one of them owned a storage shed.
Oh,
and they found the items there. So the two surviving victims outlived their attackers. Courtney died on June 4th, 2002, and Orrin Walker died on February 13th, 2000. Unfortunately, Courtney suffered from amnesia and serious brain damage. He spent the remainder of his life in pain.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And
was he the one who got the pin? Or just
that was Orrin.
Gunshot.
Yeah. Courtney was the 16th.
Right,
the 16-year-old. Yeah. So, but he died at the age of 44 in 2002.
Oh, my gosh. So young.
And the day after the murders, police got a call from a tip line stating that he saw two men watching the movie Magnum Force the night before and heard them whispering about a robbery that they were planning. So that's with that tip from the airman, that's how they were able to arrest the three men.
So your tips get heard, guys.
Yeah. So
you can do them anonymously.
Yep. And in the movie, a woman is forced to drink Drano, causing immediate death, which they were expecting, but it didn't happen.
This is in 74?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they were watching The Heathers.
No, they were watching...
what? You just said the movie, didn't you?
Magnum Force.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They did that in The Heathers, too.
Ooh, that's creepy. Pierre was originally from Trinidad, moved to the United States at the age of 18. He was a known name with the local law enforcement. He was constantly getting into trouble and had a bad temper. When he first joined the Air Force, he was actually a suspect in a murder for Sergeant Edward Jefferson.
What?
Who was found dead in his apartment, but there was never enough evidence to convict Pierre on the murder. But the detective was like, the guy definitely did it, but they never were able to convict him. And the detectives believe that the mastermind behind the whole robbery was actually Keith Roberts, which was the guy that didn't even go into the shop. He was just the getaway driver. The three men were tried together for first-degree murder and robbery.
Okay, even the getaway driver.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Just because you didn't have a hand in it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Pierre and Andrews were convicted on all counts, while the getaway driver, Keith, was convicted only on robbery due to his claim that he only drove one of the vans and was not aware of the murders.
I had no idea. I heard gunshots and everything.
And
I just thought it was a misfire in a car.
Yeah, and they were done loading the vans. I didn't know what they were doing back in there. Yeah.
No idea.
So Pierre was given 3 death sentences for his role in the crimes and executed in Texas on August 28th, 1987. And Andrews was also given a 3 death sentence for the crimes, and he was also executed on July 30th, 1992. And Keith was convicted, like I said, only for the robbery, served 13 years in prison, and was paroled on May 12th, 1987. And he died on August 8th, 1992 in Chandler, Oklahoma, after living a quiet life working in the electronics store.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, what a piece of garbage.
He's like,
What?
Yeah.
I don't even know what to think about that.
He's She's like, you know what I'm really good at? Electronics.
I'm clearly not a good getaway driver.
I know it was short and sweet, but that was
mine was super long, so that was perfect.
Yeah, the hi-fi murders.
Like it. That was interesting. That was good.
Thank you.
Awful.
Yeah, the pen.
Yes, the pen and the rape.
And Courtney.
Yeah.
That poor guy.
Yeah.
And the poor parents. I mean, obviously, poor all of them. All of them should have not been murdered, but people suck.
Don't murder people. Stop it.
If you're going to rob something, just like rob the place. Don't. If you're going to rob something, just rob the place. Leave the people alive. Like, chances are they're going to be too scared to turn you in. So, also always turn someone in.
Also, you're probably going to get caught regardless. So,
yep. Yeah.
The technology that we have nowadays.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
And there's cameras everywhere, too. Everywhere. All over the streets, red lights.
So, if you're going to, like, rob a place, rob it.
My glasses.
Go to jail for a couple of years and get out instead of murdering someone, taking someone's life, and then going to jail for even a longer time. So really, it benefits you mostly.
Yeah, we're just trying to help you guys.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something illegal, just don't make it murder.
Do you have a neighborhood story?
Yes. Attention floor 5. We are watching our friend's hedgehog. Somehow, some way, last night, it got out.
No.
We have looked everywhere in our apartment for it. Straight up, it's gone. If you see a hedgehog wandering around, let us know. We are so confused. Help, please, with a Z. Thanks, with an X.
Okay.
Thanks.
But also, did they tell their friend?
It's like, don't tell Bobby we lost his hedgehog.
Please don't tell Bobby. And also, just asking for a friend. How do you get a hedgehog? Can you buy one?
Really? You can get one at the pet store.
No, I didn't mean how.
Oh.
Where do you
to get a second one? I mean, if it were a fish, but
I mean, hedgehogs all look the same.
I mean,
though I do follow a hedgehog
on TikTok.
No, on Facebook. It's a hedgehog page that it's like a breeder.
Oh, cute.
And They're
so cute.
I know, and she has a line of albino ones, and they're really cute. Oh
my goodness.
I know.
Bees.
They stink really bad though.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
So do ferrets, but they're so much fun.
Yes, they are. I wish you still had your ferrets.
Yeah.
They could play in here with us.
We have cats. And we're getting a dog, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Jessie.
Oh, my God, I forgot to mention there was a ghost cat in there. In the tunnels.
I'm done.
So sorry.
I'm quitting this game.
Yeah, there was a ghost cat in there, too, guys. So, there's something about it. I totally forgot to mention in there.
I'm mad at Brie
My
now.
bad.
That's my favorite part.
Yep, you're right. And, that's what... There was a bullet there. And there was nothing beside the bullet. And I'm pretty sure I was probably supposed to put that there because I was supposed to look up more information about it, but I couldn't find it. Because I, stumbled upon it, and then I lost the link.
Stop. You are also very sick.
Yeah.
So
I'm getting better. I'm good.
Yeah.
So we're going to go, and you know where you can listen to us. We are on all the platforms, and if you find us on iTunes, be sure to rate and review us. We appreciate it.
And on Spotify.
We just got another review on Apple.
I saw that.
So, yeah, you did. I think you did. Oh, maybe. Okay. I don't know. Also, follow us on all of our social medias, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and just look up at WWTN Podcast. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to work on that TikTok tonight.
I was gonna say we need to make another TikTok.
We do. Oh yeah. Okay, I have an idea. Anyway,
okay.
And our website is what'swiththeneighbors.com.
And on there you can find a link for everything that she just mentioned, along with a link to our merchandise, which we have shirts, magnets, and other cool stuff.
You need some magnets for your fridge, guys.
Yeah. You know what? Hold up that bill. We will hold up that bill for you on your fridge.
Those Wendy's coupons that you're never going to use.
Yes. Or a picture of you and your dog, whatever. We'll help you hold it up.
Yep.
But along with a link to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/WWTN podcast. And on there, if you want to be on the donor bus, you
choo-choo.
For $5 a month, you can get exclusive content and our episodes unedited, which a lot is being edited out because a lot of, especially this episode, we had a lot of stories we can't share on the podcast. So you definitely miss out on things if you're not a Patreon donor.
Yeah.
And you get exclusive content for $3 a month. You get this the exclusive content plus the edited episode audio a couple days early.
Yep.
So,
and just like, all the stuff that we're up to exclusive, I guess, is exclusive content. So
yeah. So,
and we'll send you a free magnet.
Yeah, you get a free magnet when you sign up. So I think, did I mention everything? Oh, feel free to slide into our DMs with any questions, comments, or story suggestions. Once a month that we strive to do listener stories, and that, includes your own true crime or paranormal story, or if your dad's boss who swindled money for 50 years and is now being arrested. We want to hear about that, or maybe your cousin saw a UFO driving.
Or maybe you stayed at a haunted Airbnb.
Yeah, we want to hear about that stuff. So, and it doesn't have to include you if you know of this story and it's connected to you in some sort of way. That's what we want to hear about. Our email is wwtnpodcast@gmail.com. And have you checked in on the neighbors?
What's with the neighbors?
Bree and Amy out. Bree.
I don't want you to hit your cup.
Oh, thank you.
Your can.
Hold on.
Oh. He's like, gosh, Mom, I was sleeping.
Say hi to our cats, your cats for us.
Say hi. Say hi. Meow. 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 Meow.
He's so... I wonder if that look will be on it.
Meow.
Meow. Meow.
He's so mad right now.
I know. Leon, do you want a cookie? Leon, do you want a treat?
He's like, no, I want you to stop. He's so mad. Aww.